I know a few of you have probably attended some of the FBN Capital conferences in the past, but I'm sure you'll agree with me that this one is a little different because this is the one where we have launched a new brand identity, which is a very pivotal event, I would say, in the development of the investment banking, stroke merchant banking, and asset management division of FBN Holdings. So I'm going to say a few words, and then, as Lolade pointed out, we'll open the floor for questions. So FBNQuest is our new brand identity. It basically is the unified brand name that will cover FBN Capital and all its subsidiaries, so FBN Securities, FBN Capital Asset Management, FBN Trustees, FBN Funds, and FBN Capital Partners, and also Kakawa Discount House, which will shortly become FBN Merchant Bank. So all those entities certainly remain in terms of legal status and corporate and governance structure, but from a brand standpoint, the brand and the message that we take out to the market on behalf of those entities is FBNQuest. The change is important because for us it signifies a closer alignment, of our brand and business strategy. It allows us to offer our broad range of services in a much more, I would say, simple and effective, and what we believe is a much more client-centric way. So no longer will, hopefully, clients say, I need to go to FBN Trustees or I need to go to FBN Capital. They will just say, I need some advice. I need someone to arrange financing. I need someone to trade equities with. I need someone to secure my assets. And they will think of FBNQuest. That's really the intention. And that way we think is much more effective and simpler. Historically, the more subsidiaries you have, potentially the more confusion. And that's one thing that we want to avoid going forward. Internally for us, it's also very important because, as you imagine, we have several different businesses, and it's very important for us to unify under one brand, and that way we're much more able to leverage the synergies that exist across the group, and it is much easier for staff to believe and sing and speak to one identity, which is FBNQuest, rather than necessarily many different identities. So you simply are a person who works in the debt solutions business, for example, of FBNQuest, or you work in the advisory business of FBNQuest. You don't necessarily work in FBN Capital or FBN Trustees. But of course, when we contract, and this is a very important point, when we contract with our clients, the legal entity, you will have a legal entity that you're actually contracting with. In choosing the name FBNQuest, we wanted a name that we felt is, when you look at the FBN Holdings Group, a name that is somewhat unique and easily identifiable. We are opportune to be part of a group with a very, very, very recognizable sibling. And we just felt it was important to begin to try and differentiate ourselves and therefore go for a name that is a little unique and identifiable.
But again, what comes to mind for an average person who wants to have a dealing with the organization? It's just now we know FBN Capital, FBN, the other subsidiaries and all of that. But then, practically speaking, how do your customer, your client, how do they relate directly with this now that it's unified? In the practical sense of it, you've explained, your explanation basically has the branding of it. I mean, how you house all of those subsidiaries into one, but then practically, how do they relate with this on the customer level?
In the past, a customer may have a requirement and they will say, let me go to FBN Capital or let me go to FBN Securities if it's, for example, equity brokerage. What we want the customer to just think about, what is my need? If they need to have financing put together, they need to speak to FBNQuest. If they need to secure some assets, they need to speak to FBNQuest. So what's more important is really what their need is than necessarily, do I get it from FBN trustees or do I get it from FBN Capital? As I said, from a contractual standpoint, these customers will still sign their contracts with the specific legal entities. But in terms of their thinking, what we would like customers to, and I believe, the research has shown us that people, when you say asset management, for example, it's not always natural for people to understand what is that. But if you say investing, people know they want to invest. So it's important for them to go and find out, how can I invest? And when they do that, the entity they will end up contracting with is FBN Capital Asset Management, for example. But the initial thought was, well, let me go to FBNQuest because I can, when I have ideas and I have a need to invest, FBNQuest can resolve that issue for me.